My name is Adam Roberts, and I'm a 33-year-old man, father of 3 boys, um, and I just need to vent. And I really don't know any other way to do it because I've tried to talk to people, and I just can't seem to get my point across or my understanding across. So maybe through criticism and other people's views, maybe I can open up my views and maybe understand and see why things are the way they are. Again, my name is Adam Roberts, and today I want to talk about my life. My life lately has been stressful, depressing, and aggravating. Um, Child support wants to suspend my license because I haven't made a payment since July. Now my children are 9, 9, and you will be 8 on the 11th. I've paid my child support, maybe missed 5 months total in 8 years, 9 years, 8 years, whatever, 7 years. She's breaking a contempt order. There's going to be errors on this page. Bear with me. I've got a lot of emotions going on right now. There's a standing child support order in Seneca County, Ohio, for visitation for one of my oldest children with Gina Ranieri. Now, due to the relationship that I have with Susan Ranieri, Gina Ranieri's mother, she hates me, and now Gina does. They've tried to push me out of my children's lives for the last 9 years, and I've refused. I've let them walk all over me and speak to me in manners that people don't even want to know. You don't want to know what Susan Ranieri is capable of saying behind your back, or at least to me. Child support wants to suspend my license that I've had forever. And my CDL I've had for 10 years because of non-payment. I told her that I'm depressed and I'm dealing with some mental issues right now and I'm trying to find a job. But I lost my car to my motor blowing up and I've been unsuccessful. She throws out seek work, I throw out, I live 30 miles from Tiffin, and I can't get there. That's not her fault. I either comply with what they want or they're going to suspend my license because the state thinks that's the best alternative solution. And that's the only solution according to my last phone call today. The only solution. There is no other solution. To them, I was working on seek work. I'm working on my health. I live in an apartment that I don't pay for because it's supplied by WSOS because, well, 5 years ago I met a woman, fell in love. 3 years later, I give her control of my money. I move out of my apartment with her and move into her house, and then 3 months after that, she kicks me to the curb. She's sleeping with my kids' mom's other kid's ex-boyfriend. All just to make me mad. But yet, I'm the one paying all of her bills. Not no more. I was sleeping above a friend of mine's business for a year. And I was homeless. And all she could say was, I really didn't mean for this to happen, but what are you going to do now? After she took all of my stuff, sold my bow, sold the shoes, put up with her brother's mouth, I've let a lot of people walk all over me, and I'm done. I'm tired of it, and I'm going to stand up for myself. I let people walk all over me because I felt that it was simply they were having a bad day, or they were ignorant, or whatever the reasons may have been. To me, it just wasn't enough to retaliate because it was small. Well, today, that changes. Susan Susan Ranieri, you will never speak to me in the manner that you have spoken to me about my children ever again. Gina Ranieri, one day you will pay for breaking a court order, not taking me to court when you think you have evidence enough to keep my kids from me. You're just keeping my kids from me because you think you're up here and I'm down here, or you think you're a Ranieri. Now, your father, he's nothing like you and your mother. And I mean no disrespect to him. But you two, I don't care anymore. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. And I really don't care. I don't. The only things that I care about that tie me to you are those two boys. You forced them into psychic therapy sessions at the age of 5 and 4, 6, because I traveled for my job and you made me feel like a piece of shit deadbeat dad because I wasn't around constantly. Like I was the only one in the world that ever left their kids to go travel for work. But everybody around me saying, hey Adam, it's okay. You have to do what you have to do. But not the Ranieris. I mean, if you don't do what the Ranieris say, well, Susan and Gina Ranieri will trash talk you, talk behind your back, and cause you pain and misery. And she just sits there and does nothing. I don't have money for an attorney to stand on my behalf, but I'm a father that will fight from the inside to get his kids back one day. I'm a father that will never quit. I will never give up on my kids. I had to move 30 miles outside of town because Gina Ranieri was part of the reason why Ashley Messersmith kicked me to the curb. Gina Ranieri did the same exact thing that her mother, Susan Ranieri, did to her own daughter when she was pregnant. She came upstairs every day to our apartment. He's using you. He doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't want kids. The moment that child's born, he's leaving. He's using you, Gina. Adam is using you. Every day, Gina said that she would come up and tell her that stuff. Susan Ranieri drove a wedge between Gina and I, all because Susan didn't like me when she bought a stereo for Dan, her son, at my store when I was a store manager. I had a 53-foot stock truck out back, and I had 3 temp workers that were prone to stealing, and yet she demanded that I stood right there and waited for her to ponder. And I asked her, hey, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them. Oh, I don't have any questions at the moment. I'll be right back. I go check my stock. Well, what happens if I get a question? I mean, save it until I come back. I'll be gone. 2 minutes. I mean, really? She acts like she's the Queen of England. Scratch that. The Queen of England don't even act like that. She acts like a bitch. I asked Gina to sign off 5 years on taxes so I didn't have to come back to Gina every year and say, hey, can you sign off on the 8332 form so that way I can file Connor on my taxes like I've been doing the last 6 years, 7 years, 5 years? Gina said her mother said no, so I approached Susan Ranieri about this at their business in front of their workers at Tiffin Deluxe Services. And this bitch, and I hate using the language like that, but I really want to emphasize that Susan Ranieri is a bitch. In my opinion, knowing no one else's opinion, except she's helped influence it. She stated to me, what happens if Austin dies tomorrow? You'll make it difficult for Gina to claim Connor on taxes when it's her year. You listen to me, bitch. You ever open your mouth up and put taxes in my son's name in vain like that, I'll reach out and act like AT&T and touch you and slap that fucking grin off of your mouth. You put my kids' death or potential death as a reason why you wouldn't sign off because I would give it difficult. I would make it. Do you think I give a shit about money? Do you think I give a shit about taxes? You're nothing but a crooked woman that don't give a rat's ass about kids and their health. You are more concerned about money, taxes, greedy. My name is Adam Roberts, and I live in Fremont, Ohio. I used to live in Tiffin, Ohio, but I had to move because Gina Ranieri became like her mother, controlling. She wanted to control every aspect of my life because I wasn't up here. I was down here, and the Ranieris are up here. Or Susan and Gina, I've never met a man as humble as their father. But I learned fast that blood is thicker than water. They're going to take my license on the 5th because I can't find a job. But yet there's thousands of people in this county and surrounding counties that don't pay their child support that walk free. I mean, it's all too often that we date a woman and she talks about a deadbeat father not paying, not supporting, but yet he's got a job and he's got this and that and that, and nobody. But if you do the right thing, and then you have a bad moment in your life and you have to take some time off or whatever, they slam you. In Seneca County, well, in my opinion, they think they're better than anybody else anyways. I mean, child support agency racked me up twice. And I had to complain and complain and complain until finally they took me back to court. And what did the court do? I told them I made $2 more on the hour, and they still found that my child support should be lowered by $100. Could you only imagine if it would have been the same amount of pay? But yet, the child support lady that did my review the last time said that she's already given me discounts for multiple kids. Child support agency hands out discounts. The more kids you get, the bigger the discount. Do I look like I was born yesterday? I've kept my mouth shut for years. And it's always made it look like I was the one at fault because I never school bused or threw anybody out there and said, listen, this isn't really me. This is her. But I deal with it and I chew on it every day because it's my kids. And I just don't want my kids thinking that it's their fault. I can't do this anymore. I have to speak out. I have no idea if I'm breaking laws by publishing this or posting this on YouTube. Discretion is advised.